In case you missed it, this story is out of Baldwinboro, PA, February 9th, 2024. Adelin, Itongwa, 22, and Ramiah, Griffin, 20. They had been together for 4 years, but after they had their daughter, it seemed like their relationship ended, at least romantically. But they were now co-parenting, and they remained friendly with one another, or it would appear that way. Though one of Ramiah's family members described Adelin as, quote, shady, unquote. Ramiah, who went by the name Remy, was an influencer on social media. I believe she did hair, probably some other things, but I did see videos and pictures of hair, and she really was amazing. In some of her videos, she even had Adelin appearing with her in them as well. On February 9th, 2024, Remy was found in her apartment in Young Ridge Drive. She had been shot to death over 12 times, overkill, and left lifeless in her bed. Her daughter, just feet away, was left in the room alone, but thank goodness she was unharmed. So, who killed Remy? At Remy's funeral, Adelin showed up. He sat by himself and was quiet, which was understandable. The mother of his child was murdered, and there was a killer out there roaming free. Adelin would post a picture on his social media page of the two together in happier times. Detectives would work on Remy's case to try to find out who ended this young woman's life in such cold blood. Remy's family would head to court, trying to get custody of Remy's 1-year-old daughter. I believe the little girl's name is Dior. So interviews were complete, and surveillance would find Adelin Itongwa at 3 o'clock in the morning around her time of death at Remy's apartment building. And yes, he was responsible for the murder of Remy. He was arrested and charged with criminal homicide and endangering the welfare of a child, his child. Remy's sister Mariah said at every family function he was there. At every birthday, every dinner, anytime, all the time, he was there. They treated him just like family. They were glad that he was caught for this crime, but it was just sad to say that it was the father of Remy's child. Mariah believes that he wanted them to find her like that, her lifeless in bed, with their young baby in the next room, soiled in her pamper. Adelin had not said a word, or at least publicly it has not been mentioned, and whether or not he pled guilty or not, and there is no motive on why he killed Remy. I looked on their social media, and I do see the flossing and them enjoying their pictures with the cars and the trips like young couples do. But what happened? I will go out on a limb and say, I believe, not just because they're young, but basically because they're young, it was probably a lot of stepping out on one another. Maybe one or even both of them. But I believe at one time somebody had to grow up, and I believe Remy had to grow up. She had a whole person here that she had to take care of. Makeups, breakups, breakups. This time, it was done. And Adelin, he knew that it was done. And he was certainly in his feelings and in his emotions where he couldn't control them. So what do? They pick up a gun, and they believe that they can make the problems go away. And in a sense, it does. But it adds more problems as well. So now we have a mother that is no longer with us. And we have a little girl that has to grow up without never feeling her mother's touch ever again. And we have a man that may spend the rest of his life in prison. Her family is very thankful. They are thankful that there is still a piece of her left behind, and that is her daughter. Rest in peace, Remy, and justice for Ramiah Griffin.
Hey, YouTube. Hey YouTube, it's your girl Remy.
That's Adelin.
Today we're gonna be doing a Q&A, getting to know us basically. It's gonna be our first video on our channels. Let's get into the video.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Do you want to ask the first question? Or do you want me to?
First question says, when and how did you meet?
When and how? January, I'm pretty sure. January 2020. And we met through my god sister. And she introduced us. Exactly. So
Hold
stop.
on.
No. You don't have to do all that. Get off.
Okay,
Move.
well, you're wasting time for YouTube.
That's what you get.
Good. That shit hurt.
So, next question. I'll read the next question. What do you have in common, and what don't you have in common? Go first.
I don't know. I don't think we have a lot in common, but we have some things in common. You go.
I would say the thing we have in common, we both like shoes.
Cars.
What don't we have in common? We're not from the same country,
Yeah.
I guess.
We
Something
didn't
we
grow up exactly. What is it called? I don't know.
On to the next question. What are our plans for the future?